Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's No FOMO Charts Stocks and Crypto YouTube video. Today is Sunday, January 25, 2026. It's about 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome, everyone. This is a swing trading and investing YouTube charts channel. This week, earnings releases for the stock market. It's a big week. We have tech earnings, as well as other global companies such as Boeing, UPS, Seagate, then big tech, Microsoft, Meta Platforms, Tesla, Lam Research, ASML is also in there, IBM. Then we have Starbucks, Teva, Apple, SanDisk, Visa, MasterCard, KLA Corp, Western Digital, ExxonMobil, Chevron, American Express, and more companies. It's a big week. U.S. economic data, we have durable goods. President Trump is supposed to speak, tentative. Consumer confidence, manufacturing index. And then on Wednesday, we had the federal funds rate, FOMC statement, FOMC press conference regarding interest rates. Very important. Unemployment claims, PPI, core PPI, and natural gas storage as well. So that Wednesday to Thursday, there's going to be a lot. Tech earnings and FOMC press conference statement this week. Recent news, the SEC is planning to dismiss the Gemini crypto exchange lending lawsuit. This is interesting news I saw. CryptoQuant research news said that Bitcoin holders have begun realizing net losses for the first time since October 2023. This marks a regime change from profit taking to loss realization over the past 30 days, per CryptoQuant research. So the nutshell is, for crypto, we could potentially be starting the real bear market. It's possible. As for me, my logic is, at least for Bitcoin, if miners and whales have been selling for months now, even in the past year, but because we have a death cross, there's a slightly higher chance that we could be stuck in a bear market. We'll get to that in the second half of this video. Try to go faster today. SPY, S&P 500 ETF, is still barely in this uptrend. Resistance below 695, support above 675 right now. That tech earnings. The weekly chart, tech earnings are upon us. The weekly chart, no severe signs of any extreme technical pattern, but last week's sell-off was very much fundamental. And if we look intraday, the 4-hour chart is actually starting to just consolidate between 675 and 695. So everybody is just waiting for earnings right now. NASDAQ, resistance below 629, this upper blue line, still in the slanted symmetrical triangle. Support below 606 area, consolidating as well on the daily chart. Weekly chart also showing a resistance below that 629 area. It's not really the greatest pattern to see, because once we start going sideways, especially on a weekly chart, there's quite a bit of hesitation and profit taking and selling at that point. Everyone is just waiting to see what the earnings will be like. H4 chart, we did barely hold the 50 and 100 EMA. It's actually coiling to my eyes. And if I really needed to get into a trade, which I'm not, but if I really needed to trade something like an ETF, such as QQQ, I like using 4-hour low stochastic RSI or even a 1-hour just to get that entry, just to make sure I'm not accidentally or getting swept up in news or anything like that. Because if it's a 4-hour chart on a stochastic RSI and it's overbought, that just means it came from a low spot to a relative high spot. That's just trading. But investing, most likely people are buying on deeper dips or even EMA support lines. Dow Jones, similar, a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern showing up below 495 support, still holding above 485 on the daily chart. Weekly chart, a little bit overextended, just a little bit. For sure, we are not at a dip spot. And the H4 chart, we are pulling back from that overbought zone, the resistance of 496. Russell 2000, I'm already seeing on this chart, evening star, bearish triple candle pattern. I will circle it. Because when we get a green candle and then a shooting star or a doji top and then an evening star or bearish, that completes the evening star pattern. The triple candle pattern right there. So where could we drop to? We could drop to 261 support level. That's also at the 20 EMA zone. If it's really bad in the next 30 days, 253. On the weekly, there was that shooting star. And on the H4, the only good news about H4 is it's getting closer to that oversold level on the H1 chart. If we have a little bit more selling off, maybe it could bounce once it finds that support level. Now, the trades that everyone is excited about. Gold, I'm looking at GLD. But if we go to gold futures for a moment, I'll go to GC. For example, gold finally broke 5,000 today or yesterday. Recently, today and yesterday. So very nice to see gold in the very strong uptrend. Yes, it's overbought right now, but this is gold. Everyone, no, not everyone, but a lot of investors are saying to hedge in gold right now. This is what I'm saying. If I look at the stochastic, low overbought to high, low oversold to high overbought right now. So until I see a bearish candlestick pattern, the dip it's probably not going to be a catastrophic crash. It's just going to be a pullback to an EMA on a certain time frame. Because for me, what I was trying to say a couple of weeks ago about I'm not trying to quote time, unquote, gold or silver is because I need to wait for a much stronger weekly candle in terms of weakness for if I'm looking for a pullback as a bear, or I need to find a level of support like the dip if I'm a bull on gold. So what I'm saying is for weekly is I'm looking for more like shooting star candles, or even hanging man candles, or there's no doji that's showing right now. But upper body wick, which shows weakness. Right now, it's not even showing weakness. We just started this week. It's really high, but it's not a quote unquote, I call it stick patterns, candlesticks, meaning you have wicks on the top, whereas weakness, it went up and then it fell down. It couldn't hold the price. So for a 4 hour, for it to come down, we need to see, as a swing trader, I need to see like bearish divergence. And it's starting to happen, but I don't like to time it too early. It needs to be extreme for me to either take profit or take a short. But as a bull, I actually want it to come down a little bit, even just a little bit, fade down, touch the 50 EMA, touch the 20 EMA, even a 1226 EMA works, my blue and purple line, right? That 26 EMA. If it ever comes down there again, I'll probably buy one more time. It's working now because it's in such a strong uptrend. Let's go to silver futures quickly. It's been in that golden cross, silver futures, actually since March 2024. And it had a flash crash in April 2025. But if anyone's wondering out there, were there any signals for silver that it was going to go up? Over time, yes, there were in terms of EMAs. When the EMAs are all above each other, so this is my 20, 50, 100, and 200 EMA, This is like a psychological golden cross down here. Usually the 50 EMA is a good strong level of support. And once it goes parabolic, like it is right now, I have to go intraday. I'm on a 4-hour chart. I could play the 4-hour 50 EMA, or I could even play the 4-hour 26 EMA or low stochastics. It's just that I try not to push so many trades on people because then there'd be 50 alerts a week. It's too much. So for me, I like to streamline my process, play a golden cross in the past, a long time ago, it was like 2024, flash crashes, low Bollinger Band, or 50 EMA support levels. Or if I have to do a breakout trade, for example, let's just pretend if I had to buy, I was just talking to my colleague before the stream. If I was forced to buy silver right now, not for FOMO emotions, just if somebody's just randomly discovering silver ETF or futures right now, and we're looking at this chart, what's the ATR, the average true range on a daily chart? Let's round up, it's $6. $6, it's hard to see here, but $6 would be about 5.6%, so I'll round up to 6% minimum stop loss. We could double that to get a safer stop loss for swing trading. So I'll have about an 11% to 12% stop loss, which means I need to use a small to medium sized position, typically small if it's all the way up here. If I'm maximum investing, it needed to be in 2024 and 25, not up here in the sky. Because at some point, somebody's going to take their profit and it's going to pull back to an EMA. So my next entry is not today, right here, because I'm not a breakout chaser. I don't like doing that because I believe most healthy global assets at some point have a pullback. It could go parabolic. If it goes extreme parabolic, I actually might short for a day or two just to capture a little bit and then flip long. Not good to do that all the time, but because it's silver, it's so popular right now. 4-hour 50 EMA, we are way above that right now. The Bollinger Band linear regression is way out of bounds right now, for now. 26 EMA also works. 4-hour stochastic also works. It's overbought. It's too high for my personal taste right now. I would like this silver futures, silver ETF to pull back so I could get my next trade entry. Sometimes I just have to wait a month. Nobody likes to hear that, but sometimes it's better to just wait for the better entry. All right, let's do a couple tech companies before they report earnings. We'll just get some basic levels, trend and levels. So Microsoft actually been downtrending for 3 to 4 months right now. We're below the daily 200 EMA, and it's at risk right now. If Microsoft has problem in their earnings, if it's mixed, we could actually continue the downtrend, and then we would death cross. That would be bad. Part of the reason is because there's other AI plays. So much money has been flowing into SanDisk, memory, and even money's flowing away from crypto and some Magnificent Seven stocks into other ETFs like gold, silver, etc., and some other AI plays. So Mag 7 is not extremely popular right now. And just want to point out the ATR would be about $10. So that stop loss, if I were to ever take a trade, is 2 to 4% on the downside, the move. So the support downside could fall down to 447, or if it's really bad, maybe 10% down to 416. So watching out for that support on Microsoft. Meta, it's actually already in a death cross, unfortunately. Meta had such a great run in 25, and then some issues with various projects, and then it death crossed. The only good thing that I could say about the chart and not about the earnings is that if this survives this higher low, if Meta has good earnings, it could actually attempt to get continuation up to the 732 gap fill. On top side, ATR is about $18 to $20. So after this earnings, I'm expecting a 3 to 6% move, either up or down. So 3% or 6% up would be 699. 6% down would be 615. Let's go to Tesla. Too many indicators on the chart is never good. Tesla's still in the golden up cross. They're making changes to some of their cars in regards to the subscriptions as well. If I draw a trend line on the bottom side and the top side, we just bounced off that support level. January 14, support. So Tesla, with the $15 ATR average true range of a daily price move, $15 would be about 3% to the upside, $15 to the downside, approximate 3% downside. 432 and 467 would be two short-term levels. We will know if Tesla's in a problem, not just based on the news, but if the stock price falls down and rejects below 440, then we would have a problem. Because right now, every support highlighted in the blue has held. So the first time we violate that to the downside and close and have a weak bounce, that's when we know we're in trouble with Tesla. Let's go to Apple. Apple having problems with the head and shoulders here and some fundamental issues as well. If we measure this, it should have been negative 8% to the downside, which we actually hit that target right at 243 on the bottom here. I like to put up a Fibonacci from the tariff low to this AI high, I'm going to call it. We also lost this trend line. We're directly below it. It's very close, however. So with all these tech stocks, we're also oversold down here on the RSI. With many of these tech stocks, if they actually have surprise good earnings or news announcements, there's actually a chance that we could bounce, because if it's bearish news right into the support level, this is the third time it's been to this trend line, there could be that $5 to $10 ATR move, which would be about 2.5 to 5% up or down from this level of 248. Watching closely for that. All right, so that's basically it for stocks. I guess I'll just do one more, because this is the ultimate FOMO stock right now. SanDisk Corporation IPO'd on February 13, 2025. Less than 1 month ago, went from $32 all the way to the top of $505. Just this year, it was 100% to 90% move. Amazing. However, what I do want to caution is, I noticed today looking at SanDisk that this is a textbook bearish divergence chart, at least. Not the fundamentals, but the chart, at least. When we're making this extreme higher high on the weekly chart, RSI is overbought. It's way above 80. And then we're starting to see that the beginning of bearish momentum. I don't see an extreme shooting star, and they're reporting earnings on Thursday afternoon after market. So just in case, the ATR is pretty large here. There's a hanging man candle. There's an evening star pattern that's appearing on SanDisk. So I'm not rushing to FOMO into this trade at all. $32 ATR is minimum 7 to 14% move within the next, let's say, 14 days. That's a large percentage move. Upside 536, downside 409. And if I try to connect some trend lines on a logarithmic scale, you can see pretty steep. Going to 4 hour. The next, I'll also use a volume profile on a daily. This will help us figure out most people bought, or most people traded at $47 right before the breakout. It's incredible. Then the second greatest level was about 225, 220 range. There's not much going on up here in the 400, 300, especially $500, very low volume. I'm talking about the right side here, all of this on the right side. $500, 400, 300, not much. We could have a huge, massive pullback to 200 if SanDisk has earnings problem. I was looking at the EPS revenue using TradingView indicators. And the last EPS, it's hard to read, but they had a 75-cent EPS, which was a 577% gain from quarter over quarter. That's why we had such a massive move. And this last move is like news FOMO. So I'm being careful. Whenever I see a chart like this, I'm just going to be careful because I want to buy at support. I don't want to buy sky high, moon high prices just on price right before earnings. It's a very dangerous combo. So I'm going to wait for the earnings. And if it actually goes up, maybe I'll buy some. But there's somebody out there, maybe hedge funds or institutions, if they bought at $45 or $50, they already 10x, 1,000% their position. And if there's like billions of dollars in here, this could unwind very ugly, very fast. Depends on what the institution is going to do with SanDisk. Like, are they going to keep holding for 5 to 10 years? Or somebody's just going to take their profit after, maybe after February 14th, so they lock in that 1 year of lower tax rate as well. Okay, that's wrapping up the stock part. Let's go to crypto. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, consider subscribing, hit the like button, leave a nice comment. I do want to point out that technical analysis patterns and indicators such as RSI, MACD, down here, the indicators that we use, EMAs, for example. I'm just being very general, but they only have about a 60% successful win rate. I would say on average. Some strategies you could get up to 80%, but it has to be done basically perfectly, like a Bollinger Band. But for the most part, the general indicators of EMA crossovers and maybe some momentum plays, let's just make it simple. EMA crossover is about like anywhere between 50 to 70 average to 60% average. So if we're in a death cross, what does that actually mean? We were going down, crashing. So last week, I want to make it more clear to people that I'm an aggressive trader, so I will play some of these down here. But if somebody is an investor, it's not the best practice, in my opinion, to buy speculative assets in a downtrend because there's no guarantee it's going to come back up because they're speculative. They're not real companies, crypto. It's not a stock, it's crypto. So if it's downtrending, that it's a greater than 50% chance on a daily chart that we're going to keep going down in the price. The inverse is true to an extent, that if we're golden crossed, for example, like in October 2024, when all the EMAs are up, this is actually uptrending, golden cross. So then there's that plus 60% chance we're about to go up in October 2024. That's what happened. That's what people have to understand right now, is that there was profit taking up here in the 4 trillion range when Bitcoin was 125,000. Then after profit taking and then crash, unless somebody bought at like $50,000 Bitcoin or $75,000 or $25,000 Bitcoin, anybody who bought $90,000 Bitcoin and above is definitely in a loss right now. Let's go to that Bitcoin chart. Now that we looked at the whole market, let's go to that BTC USD. Confirmed downtrend. So already, for me as an investor, I know don't invest a lot into Bitcoin at this moment because we're in a downtrend for me. If we were in a golden up cross, when I first bought October 2023, that's when I made really good decisions on crypto investing. That's all I'll say about that, right? So if we're going from a golden up cross, I'll just put up, to a golden down cross on Bitcoin, right now is not the optimal time to buy Bitcoin. If I'm using this simple strategy that works 60% of the time on a daily chart for cryptocurrency, approximately, estimated 6%. That when we get the golden up cross, if I long Bitcoin there and I hold it until the down cross, there's a 6% chance I'm going to make money, a profit. So it's not good for me to just randomly change the strategy and attempt to buy any of this down here as an investment. The difference is, why did this, you might be wondering, okay, if that's true, then why did I buy anything down here? It's because I was using a different strategy, which I'll probably save for a future video. I just want to keep it one strategy at a time. The EMAs are down crossed right now. So patience is the key, because if that crypto quant data is true, that profit taking is over and now it's actually loss realization, people selling at loss, or the $2 billion Bitcoin whale who sold $2 billion worth of Bitcoin in the middle of January, that's all bearish, right? Geopolitical, macro, earnings, all of that combined with crypto lack, and then the Clarity Act got delayed. That's all bearish, bad news. So for me, even as a swing trader, when I look at my oscillators down here, I'm not really seeing the greatest of all time bull setup. It's not here yet. It's forming. You can see it on the chart that if I draw this wedge, we lost the wedge, the yellow lines. I'm not even looking at EMAs anymore. We lost the wedge. We went from a resistance all the way down to support zone. It's not even a W. It's not a pattern yet. It's not a double bottom. It's not an upside down head and shoulders. We almost had the uptrend reversal, but we lost the support of 90,000. That's how I knew I need to close my positions for now, because I lived through many multiple crashes of Bitcoin. So even though, in my opinion, corporations and institutions and governments are buying Bitcoin a lot, nonstop, if I need to just execute my strategy, it's not now for me. That's all I'm saying. I need to make that 200% clear, because it might seem like, why does this guy keep changing his opinions? Because I'm running multiple strategies in real time. So to sum this up for Bitcoin, we're still in the downtrend right now. We are still downtrending on crypto. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. The only good news that I can say is that we're still above the 80,000 to 85,000 yellow bar support line right now. So $85,000 Bitcoin must hold so that we even get a chance at a recovery. We could still recover, because sometimes in trading, the maximum despair point is actually the bottom. I'm not seeing that extreme volume like we saw in November 2025, this red. It's actually below average volume, which is also another clue. It's also another clue that if the shorts are going to stop, then we might have a little long bounce as well. So I'm playing an intraday strategy right now. We're just waiting for that to see. ATR about $2,500. So ATR, a double ATR move would be at 6%. So 3 to 6% stop loss, and I'm trying to target 4.5 to 8%, which would be about $96,000 Bitcoin level. So once we lose $84,000, that's how we know we have a problem. For now, I'm still going to stay in potential open-minded mode, where if it's left shoulder, head, potential right shoulder, or just a triple bottom on Bitcoin above that zone. Ethereum, it's very similar. We had the downtrending death cross, right? It was trying to rally to the 200 EMA, 3,300 crash. Somebody's going to sell, take all that profit. We're below that trend line on the yellow line here. Still not great. I need to see extreme oversold. And the last time this happened, Ethereum crashed top to bottom more than 65%. What level are we at right now? We're only at 35%, 37%. We could crash another 30% this year on Ethereum. Then maybe we might get some bottom action going on. That's why with crypto, it takes great patience. Great patience. Sometimes we had to wait for 1 year, 365 to 400 days for the price to finish crashing. 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, and then we come back as bulls. That's why sometimes crypto is not the place sometimes. And then there's other markets that are having moves right now. Gold, silver is tradable. Tech stocks might become tradable depending on the earnings. So we need to hold above $2,600 on Ethereum, resistance 3,300 long term. XRP, USD. Let's just rapid fire these. If we're noticing, let me pull up. I'm just going to make another one so it's clear to people. I'm going to do MA cross and just make that my clean 50 and 200 just to have that 50, 200. I like yellow, red, blue. It's my 5200. EMA. Let's do thick lines. We see death cross on November 11, 2025. XRP still downtrending, holding that support above 175. Binance Coin also death crossed, but the only saving silver lining is that maybe if tech stocks survive, like on XRP chart, if we're holding above $1.75, $1.80, there could be that potential W. I just need to make sure nothing is 100% in crypto or charts. If we survive, there could be a monster short squeeze up to $2 to $2.33. That's something I'm just trying to keep half of my mind open to that on these charts. Binance Coin. Binance Coin, we tried to get the double bottom, but 816 support level got rejected. You see a small double top here below 952. I like to use Fibonacci in this case. We went from 618 to 50%, trying to hold the higher low inside of a death cross right now. So it's slightly still bearish right now. Resistance 943, support 840 level. It is low stochastic though, so that's why I'm expecting some kind of bounce at some point this year. It could be correlated. Solana as well. We have the death cross downtrend. Solana had a pretty severe downtrend, down 50%, even touched 117 before tapping that support level. So somebody keeps buying 117, 118 Solana. And I like that because maybe we might get that double bottom. I will know the double bottom is canceled if we lose 115 and just keep crashing because we're death cross right now. DOGE. Here's a perfect example of dead cat bounce. EMA rejection. I'll circle it in the blue right here. We were downtrending for so long. The momentum was building, finally had some pressure relief into the short squeeze. Went 30% into a double top, rejected by multiple EMA resistances, pulling back down to about 12-cent range. See if we get that W double bottom. That's like the story of all crypto right now. Can we W double bottom even though in this death cross? Cardano. Not the privacy coins of Zcash, Zen, Dash. Link. Can we hold that support above 1150? AVAX, can we double bottom above 1121? XLM Stellar, can we double bottom over 20 cents or not? Toncoin, are we going to get an upside down head and shoulders or not? Because all of these charts I'm showing, they're all death crossed, almost all of them. Shiba Inu death cross. Can we get an upside down head and shoulders down here? Question mark. HBAR, can we double bottom above 10 cents? So that's why I'm very suspicious of these charts, because when the market or social sentiment, when people completely quit crypto, could be a relative tradable bottom. Just the emotional capitulation crash. People just sick of crypto. People tired of crypto crashing. Nothing's happening here. So people are leaving for now. That could be a relative bottom. So the summary is that the major crypto coins, aka Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, especially Bitcoin, has to survive above $85,000 Bitcoin. If we lose that level and we keep downtrending, I'm expecting a crash. Because think about how many people are holding billions of dollars. Hedge funds, institutions, whales, miners. What's going to cause them to sell, even governments, what's going to cause them to sell is a major capitulation crash. Somebody out there is going to keep buying nonstop, probably Strategy Corporation or like a foreign government. But for me, I need more evidence than this on a daily chart. It's just not enough for me. I need to see like massive momentum. It's building on the weekly, but 4 hours, starting to dead cross for even just a little bit. The hourly's death cross. It's not in alignment for bull rally yet. That's why it's mixed. So I'm just waiting. Just waiting. Keep charting until I find an A+ setup. Then I'm going to fire and buy that one. That's my style this year. Just keep charting for myself. Keep searching, keep looking. Either news, charts, earnings, even social media. Eventually the next play will come. So I have my own personal watches of 10 stocks or 20 stocks of crypto. But for this video, I want to be very honest and clear with people about the direction of Bitcoin. We are in the death cross, still downtrending, barely holding on to support of 85,000. And that's going to be the battleground for the next 2 to 4 weeks. Thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully everyone is managing their risk. So even if we have losing trades or it's downtrending, that no one's having catastrophic blowing up of their accounts. And then it's just a matter of patience. When will the selling stop? That's when I need to buy big as a bull, long. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, consider clicking subscribe, like button, leave a nice comment. And sometimes we have to wait a while for the next setup. Thank you and hope you have a nice week. See you in the next video.